So this is what my week's been looking like. Filming myself 2 different angles about this camera, the A7S III. Yeah, it's very cramped, but you know what? You gotta use what you got and make it work. There was another question that came through about why did I choose the Z-Cam over the Red Komodo? Am I wasting my time using the Z-Cam system? And that question comes from the idea of what the industry standard is for a lot of bigger productions. What I see as traditional when it comes to filmmaking cameras, you have Canon, you have Panasonic, you have Blackmagic, and then Red and Arri, of course, and of course Sony. Duh, those are what most people pick. When it comes to other brands like the Z-Cam, it's been a very slow integration here in the United States at most. This is a Chinese company, it's a Chinese brand, so they're more widely used and probably on other sets. Looking at myself being a single operator filmmaker, independent filmmaker, a lot of my projects, people don't tend to hire me obviously for the camera. It's more of like my storytelling, my style, things like that. So I have 2 Z-Cams now. The S6, which is a Super 35 sensor. That's a $2,500 camera. It has 14 stops of dynamic range, a lot of different codecs, ProRes, Z-RAW, ProRes RAW, and then all the different flavors of resolution from 6K all the way down to Super 16. Same case for the F6, the full frame. That is a $4,000 cinema camera. Interchangeable mounts, Z-Log profile, all that stuff, 15 stops of dynamic range, and then so on and so forth. I'm not a believer in buying a camera, you get more clients. That is very rare and far few between, especially the jobs I do. I've made my money elsewhere rather than carrying a camera that has a name brand, that has a reputation, and that's all fine. I'm not downing that at all. In some cases, that is the case. I like to own my stuff, and owning the Z-Cam system has been a pleasure in the sense where Z-Cam is like the Red community for the most part. It's very interactive, you can ask a lot of questions, and the company listens. I gravitate to the Z-Cam system for these reasons here. One, the community that centers around it. The company itself is very open to hearing a lot of suggestions, and surprisingly, a lot of the suggestions from the Facebook group has made it into these cameras in a very fast timeline compared to most camera brands I've been with. So that's been a really pleasure to see. Now the hardware behind what Z-Cam produces is really promising. Sure, there are little bugs, but who doesn't have bugs? Every Red camera video I've watched always says this is in beta. So I love the option of having open gate. Both of these cameras I can shoot the entirety of the sensor, so that's fantastic. And then interchangeable mounts. So you get all of this for a very affordable price compared to anything else on the market in terms of like what this offers and how flexible this camera system is. No other camera on the market allows you to change out its mounts. Sure, you have the Ursa, you can change out those, but those are very expensive to purchase a PL mount and an EF mount, even I believe a Sony mount. But anyway, I have 4 mounts, all $100 each, and I can change them out whenever I need to if I'm using certain lenses. And I think people don't really understand how key that is, because now I can keep a system that really is not going to die because 4K is still being adopted in a lot of ways. And as long as the image quality has ProRes and a high bit depth and high bit rate, then you're good. That's really the reason why I didn't go with the Red Komodo. That's a $6,000 Super 35 camera that's limited in the sense of, I think the best resolution is the 6K and sticking with 6K. There's too much cropping that goes in when you're going down to 4K, even 2K to get certain frame rates. This does crop in, obviously, but it's not as compromising, I think, compared to the Red. One thing that the Red Komodo does have over, I believe it has 16-bit color depth, and that's freaking awesome. I would love to have 16-bit, but right now the most I can get is 10-bit and 12-bit. And for the most part, that's fine. Anyway, you probably won't hear from me for a while. I got some bigger projects to do in the next couple of weeks, so I just want to put this out now. Follow me with Moment, because there's something's big coming that way. But until then, catch you guys on the next one. Oh, I forgot to show you. I have this. The A1. I have this for a few days. I'm gonna try to figure out what to shoot with it. 8K. Not the first camera. There's a Z cam that's an 8K as well. About the same price, actually cheaper. But this is mainly, I think, geared towards the filmmaker, photographer that wants an all-in-one beast of a system. It's basically the A7S III specs plus 8K plus 50 megapixels. Like, they stuffed everything in here. So yeah, awesome. All right, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.